Hey Tim, are you interested in doing a gig in Mississauga opening for Pete Best and his Beatles Tribute Band? Pardon? What? The answer is yes. Yes, I will do a gig opening for Pete Best, the original drummer for the Beatles. So welcome to Tim Conley Drums. That's my story for today. Many years ago, I used to play in a Beatles tribute band called Let's Get Back. And if any of you have been following my channel for some time, you'll know that I've posted lots of videos playing with that band and also recordings that we did. And one of the videos is actually from that gig, but Pete did not want to be filmed or photographed, unfortunately. But if you watch it almost looks like it's a black and white video. It's from a side angle. You can see me playing, and you can see Tabo, the George Harrison character in our tribute band. He's playing. You can only see the two of us. It's a side angle shot. But I think we're playing Nowhere Man. That's one of the songs we're playing. So if you check out that video, if you scroll through my videos and find that video, that is actually from the night that we opened for Pete Best. Now, like I said, Pete wouldn't allow, he didn't want photos, he didn't allow video, so I really couldn't, gather up a bunch of photos of myself and Pete. He just, I don't know, I guess he's had enough of the photos, but he's still alive today. He's 83 years old. At the time, so this is about 2008 or 9 that I played this gig, probably 2009. I think that's when I played this gig. It was in Mississauga, and it was at a very, very Beatles-friendly pub. The owner of the Mississauga pub was a huge Beatles fan, and we used to play there often because we were one of the top Beatle tributes around, so they loved hiring us. So I get a call from the owner of that bar saying, "Hey, Tim, we want you to come and play. How would you like to open for a Pete Best's Beatle tribute?" And I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" "No, I'm not kidding you. We've booked Pete Best. We asked him if he wants an opening band. He said yes. I thought of you guys." And I was like, "You got to be kidding me." So, needless to say, we take the gig. Now, this is an interesting story because I was extremely excited to meet Pete Best. I mean, I'd be more excited to meet Ringo, going to be totally honest, but Pete is the next best thing. I mean, he played in the Beatles, I think, from about 1959 or 1960 to 62. And he played on all those early recordings, the ones like that they did for the Mercy Beat. And there's like all kinds of bootleg copies of them playing at the tavern and or the cavern, sorry. And it's Pete playing drums for a lot of that before Ringo came along. Okay, so let's get to the story. So we get to the venue and we start to set things up. We, of course, show up early because we are the opening act, and we wanted to get set up and get prepared. And luckily, Pete was there. His band was there. The Pete Best band was there at the time. And we were super stoked to meet Pete and meet his bandmates. And what an awesome experience it was, talking to him. And I'll get into more details about what we talked about and whatnot. But Pete said that, let's talk about what songs you guys are going to do so we don't duplicate the songs. And of course, Pete is running the show because people are there to see Pete. We're the opening band. Opening bands always get, second billed, so to speak. When you're the second on the bill, it usually means that you don't really have a lot of say. You just do what you're told. And I was totally okay with that. Anyways, Pete says, he shows us his set list. it's mainly stuff that he actually played with them. He played a couple of the early stuff like Love Me Do, Please Please Me, Anna. I can't remember the exact set list, but a lot of the really, really early Beatles stuff, he did play some of those. Now, we also played them, but we didn't play them for this because we played right from 62 right up to 70. We played a little bit of everything. So we focused from, 64 and up for this particular show. And Pete basically played 63 and under. So he was playing, Soldier of Love, Besame Mucho. I can't remember exactly, but a lot of the really, really early stuff that he actually did record with them. None of them were hits. If you listen to the really, really early stuff, none of them were hit songs. Love Me Do was their first hit song. And then, of course, they took off from there with a million hit songs. Anyways, so we're talking to Pete. We go over the set list. He agrees on our set list. We played for 30 minutes. And he, of course, was the feature act. So they did an entire full show. We were just the opening band. Now, I have to admit, I've been the opening band for a lot of bands over the years, and we actually got well received by this crowd. Now, so I found out later there were people there, even though Pete Best is the star, there were people there to see us, that we were a fairly well-known Beatles tribute, and they were actually there to see us. That blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. But anyways, we did our 30 minutes, and we played a variety of Beatles stuff, like I said, from 64 to 70. And we did our thing, and we were well received. The place was jam-packed. You could not fit another soul in there. It was fantastic. And Pete was very gracious. He was very calm. He was a gentleman. He treated us really well. Like I said, I was excited to talk to him. I didn't want to ask him the same stupid questions. What's it like to get kicked out of the Beatles? How did you feel when you got booted out? Like, I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to bring up any negativity. I asked him about the actual tribute band. How did you put the band together? How long's the band been together? Where do you guys play? Blah, blah, blah. That same band, by the way, I'm not sure if it's the exact same members, but at 83 years of age, Pete is still on tour right now. And if I'm not mistaken, he's coming to Toronto this July, I think. He's bringing the Pete Best band to Toronto. I'll look it up and find out what the venue is, because I can't remember the name of the venue off the top of my head, but I'll let you guys know. I'll post it right here. So Pete was very, very Beatle-y. He had that Liverpool accent, and it was just so much fun talking to him and enjoying some time together with him in the presence of Beatle royalty. I mean, he was one of the original guys. I consider him to be Beatle royalty. So anyways, after we finish our set, we move our drums out, all our gear and everything, and Pete sets all his stuff up, and they start playing, and they play through, and Pete sang some of the songs, and it was really enjoyable. Like I said, he was like in his late 60s probably at the time, something like that. Late 60s, early 70s, something like that. And he sounded great. The band sounded great. And it was a really great experience for all of us, everybody that got to see this show. And the guys in my band and myself, we were just so happy to be there and to be a part of it and meet Pete, spend some time with him and everything. But I'm going to tell you, this gig took a bit of an ugly turn. So what do I mean when I say the gig took a bit of an ugly turn? Well, after Pete was done performing and the band tore down, we were packing our stuff up. What ended up happening was the owner, who was a lady, actually came to me and said, "Hey, have you seen Pete?" And I said, "Well, I saw him earlier packing up. I saw him taking his stuff out to the vehicle and whatnot, but I haven't seen him since then. Well, it turns out that Pete went, as soon as he was done performing, he went and got paid, which was fine. Usually people wait till after they're packed up and they're just about to head out the door that they go and get the pay. But Pete went and got his pay. And I was told by the owner and then the bartender that Pete did not pay his food and alcohol bill for the evening. That the band actually got paid, was given a bill on top of, okay, here's your pay and here's your bill for the evening. And I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if Pete just forgot. I don't know if he just said, I'm not paying it. I don't know. I just know that the owner and the bartender both said to me, hey, have you seen Pete? They owe us money. They ran a tab for the evening. The band ran a tab and they did not pay. Oops. I didn't know what to say other than, I saw Pete a little while ago, but I don't know where he is now. So the owner ended up going outside, looking around, trying to find him. To the best of my knowledge, the bill never got paid. Now, I'm going to give Pete the benefit of the doubt that it was a mistake, that he got paid and all the gear was packed up. He's an older guy, a little bit forgetful, and he just left and forgot to pay his bill. I don't know what happened, if it was, he was angry about something or upset about something, or he had a disagreement. It didn't appear to be that, because I'm sure that the bartender and or the owner of the establishment would have told me, because I said to them, I was really surprised. What do you mean he didn't pay his bill? And she didn't really give me an answer. She just shrugged her shoulders like, yeah, well, this is what he owes and he hasn't paid it. So there's nothing I could do, in terms of helping her. I just went and looked around for him a little bit. I mean, it's not my job to keep tabs on Pete Best. My job is to perform and get paid at the end of the night, pack up and leave. So in the end, we got paid. We paid our tab, which was very small. I don't really eat or drink a lot at gigs. I don't drink any alcohol at all at gigs. But, usually they'll give you something free on a gig, whether it be pop, juice, sometimes alcohol, usually not sometimes. And they usually will give you at least a percentage off, up to half for food. So, but I try not to spend my hard-earned gig money at the gig. I don't know about you guys if you actually spend a lot of money on the gig, but I usually don't, because I just feel like I'm pissing my money away that I earned for the night. And I don't like to do that. So anyways, far as I know, Pete left, they packed up, they moved on, and that was the end of it. So I did say goodbye to him in the sense of when he was packing up, I remember saying to him, shaking his hand when he was packing up and saying it was great to meet you and all that sort of thing. I didn't formally say goodbye to him in the sense that he was packed up and he said goodbye to everybody. I don't even think he said goodbye. I think he literally just packed up and left. I don't really know. It's a strange story. Unfortunately, I don't have a conclusionary answer for you. I only know up to the part where there was a mystery in the sense of, hey, where's Pete? So it's where's Waldo? Where's Pete? Nobody knows. Anyways, I hope you like this video. Please don't unsubscribe to my channel. If you're interested in drumming and music and crazy stories like I often tell, subscribe, and please stay subscribed. All right, thanks a lot for watching, and as always, keep drumming. See ya.